Erik Erikson, born as Erik Hamburger Erikson, was a 20th century German-American developmental psychologist and psychoanalyst. He was best known for developing his theory of psychosocial development and the concept of an identity crisis. In fact, he even coined the term identity crisis over 60 years ago to describe the psychological challenge that adolescents and emerging adults face, who must figure out who they are, what they're going to do with their lives, and who they're going to do it with. According to Simply Psychology and Very Well Mind, Erikson's greatest study was his theory of his 8 psychosocial stages. These 8 stages were trust versus mistrust, autonomy versus shame and doubt, initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and ego integrity versus despair. According to Educational Psychology Interactive, the first stage, trust versus mistrust, occurs between birth and 1.5 years of age. This stage is centered on developing a sense of trust in caregivers and the world. The children that receive responsive care are able to develop the psychological quality of hope. The second stage, autonomy versus shame and doubt, takes place between the ages of 18 months and 3 years. It involves gaining a sense of independence and personal control. Being successful in this stage allows people to develop will and determination within themselves. The third stage, initiative versus guilt, occurs between the ages of 3 and 6 years old. In this stage, children begin to explore their environment and exert more control over their choices. Success in this stage allows children to develop a sense of purpose. The fourth stage, industry versus inferiority, takes place from 6 to 12 years old and focuses on developing a sense of personal pride and accomplishment. Being successful at this point in development leads to a sense of competence. As we move on to the last 4 stages, we enter the teenage years of an individual's life. The fifth stage, identity versus confusion, occurs during an individual's teen years. Those who are able to successfully create a healthy identity develop a sense of fidelity, while those who fail to complete this stage might feel confused about their place in life. The sixth stage, intimacy versus isolation, takes place in early adulthood and is centered around creating healthy relationships with others. Success in this stage leads to the ability to form strong relationships with others. The seventh stage, generativity versus stagnation, occurs during middle adulthood and is when people become concerned with contributing something to society and leaving an impact on the world. The 2 key activities that contribute to success in this stage are raising a family and having a stable career. Integrity versus despair is the final stage of psychosocial development. It takes place in late adulthood and it is based around reflecting back on life. Those who look back on life and feel satisfied develop a sense of integrity and wisdom. On the other hand, those who are left with regret might experience bitterness and despair. According to Good Therapy, there were many critiques about his theories and experiments at the time, but the critics only mentioned how he mainly focused on the psychosocial nature because they involved the psychological needs of an individual, which conflicts with the needs of society. Some people might argue that he failed to address all sides and perspectives of his theory. Erikson furthered the study of psychology in many ways that Sigmund Freud could not. Freud's theory focused on the psychosexual aspect of the development. On the other hand, Erikson's addition of other influences helped to broaden and expand psychoanalytic theory. He also contributed to our understanding of personality as it is developed and shaped over the course of the lifespan. In modern society, Erik Erikson and his psychosocial theory is still widely and highly regarded. In fact, a majority of theorists today use his work as an outline and basis to observing the development of personality within an individual. Even if you aren't a theorist, understanding his work and his theories allow you to gain some insight as to why and how people's personalities develop throughout their lifespan, which is an extremely useful skill to have in today's world.